Okay, so in this video, I just want to give you a few hints. I'm not going to go through and solve every problem on this worksheet, but I do want to give you a few hints for how you solve each type of problem. All right? What you should do before you do anything else is you should have printed this out, and you should take this worksheet and you should try to do this on your own first. Okay? If you have trouble, then come back to this video and I'll drop some hints here on how to solve these to help you get through it. Okay, so if you haven't done that, pause the video and then come back when you have answers that you think are correct. Okay, so notice in the first equation we're trying to solve for v up here. Remember, when we're solving equations, our goal is to get the variable by itself. In order to do that, we go through a list of things that we try to solve for. The first thing is to look for fractions or exponents. We never have any of those, so we always skip that step. Second step would be to get rid of parentheses. So there are no parentheses. Third step would be to combine like terms. In this case, like terms are 5 and 2. So everything else in this equation will stay the same. 5 plus 2 will be 7v. All right? And then in this case, then, the goal is to get v by itself, so I have to get rid of the 2. Remember, we always look to the left for the sign. So if there is no sign, it's plus. So to undo a plus 2, we've got to subtract 2. We're going to do that from both sides. Negative 2 minus 2 is negative 14, which is equal to 7v. And then notice, to get v by itself, then you have to divide both sides by 7. So that gives me v is equal to negative 2. All right? Just as a hint for number 2, you're going to want to do the same thing here, x and minus 5x. What you're going to end up with is going to be a fraction of some sort. X minus 5x is going to be negative 4x. And then when you subtract 3, you're going to get 0. So negative 4x equal to 0. Divide by negative 4, you should get x equal to 0 for this one. So when you try that, try this problem and see if you get x equal to 0. For this one, for 3 and 4, notice our goal here is to get rid of parentheses first. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. And then from there, we solve the equation like before. We're going to add 6 to both sides. So that's going to give us negative 3x is equal to 12. So in this case, x will be equal to negative 4. You're going to do the same thing over here. When you solve that out, it'll be negative 6x minus 18 on this side. And then if you add 18 to both sides, you get 1242. So you should get x is equal to negative 7 on that one. Okay? So that's how you handle solving equations. You run down that list. You take care of parentheses first, then you combine like terms, then you get all the variables together on one side of the equals, and then you start adding and subtracting to get rid of terms, and then you multiply or divide to get rid of terms. All right, in the next one, it's the same rules, except now we don't have any numbers. We want to solve for whatever letter they tell us. So in this first one, we're going to solve for p. So if I'm solving for p here, the way to solve for p would be to get rid of that negative t. In order to get rid of a minus t, we want a plus t. And we want to do that to both sides of the equal sign. So what you should get is p is equal to h plus t. And that is as good a solution as you can get until they give you numbers. So for these are literal equations. You're just rearranging the terms, moving them across the equal sign, using those same rules for equations. In this one, our goal is to solve for c. So I've got to get rid of this t first. Don't be fooled here, because that's not a minus t. This is a plus t. So to undo a plus t, we want to subtract t. And then it'll be negative yc is equal to b minus t. All right? This is a subtraction thing. Don't, just because it's on top does not mean you're dividing or anything like that. Okay? And then finally, to get c by itself, we want to divide by both the negative and the y. And that negative y has to be divided into both of those terms. So c will be b minus t divided by negative y. Okay? When you're down here solving for inequalities, Again, you're going to use the same rules for solving an equation. Notice we want to get rid of the parentheses first, so negative 4 times 6. And notice this little 6 is going to hang out in front, so we can go ahead and copy that down. Negative 4 times 6 is negative 24 n. And then negative 4 times 7 would be negative 28. And that's greater than or equal to 122. Okay? So 6 minus 28. So we've got negative 24 n. 6 minus 28 will give us negative 22. And now if I'm getting getting n by itself, I have to add 22 to both sides. So I've got negative 24n greater than or equal to 144. And then finally divide by negative 24. So you get n is equal to, or n is less than or equal to, notice we divided both sides by a negative number, so we had to flip the inequality. And then 144 divided by 24 is negative 6. So n is less than or equal to negative 6. And then if you want to graph that, negative 6 goes there, negative 7, negative 5. This is a solid circle, so we'll put a closed circle. And it's less than, so it's pointing to the left. Okay, I'll leave you to figure out the solutions to 8, 9, and 10. In the next video, I'll do the back of the worksheet for you.